Hello, this is Julie. Today I'd like to talk about where to find good SVG files for cutting and how to use them and make the cut. And so let's get started. The first place I can recommend to find lots and lots of cutting files is right in the Make the Cut software. If you go up to the top of the page, there's an icon that looks like a tic-tac-toe board. This is the image gallery and Make the Cut. If you click on that, then you usually get the search window here, and you can type anything you want in the search window, and you can sort by SVG, MTC, or not search at all for any specific thing, but just see everything that's there. I'm going to click on search, and it found 10,346 files, and each one of these can be used in Make the Cut software, but also it can be saved or exported to SVG format, and that's a lot of cutting files. So let's suppose that we would like to use this heart. All we do is we click on download, and there it is, ready for us to resize and use. But if we don't want to use it right now, we could, or on one of the Make the Cut cutters, we can also go to File, Export, Selection to SVG File, and we can save it. I'll save it to my desktop and call it Heart. And it will be an SVG file that will be usable in any other cutter software. Quick and simple. Now you do have to own Make the Cut in order to use the export feature, or to cut, or to print, but it's well worth it. You get 10,000 plus cutting files, with more being added every day, and so that's one huge resource that you have. And it's great if you have one of the Make the Cut supported cutters. For example, I could use these files straight from Make the Cut to the Black Cat Cougar, Craftwell eCraft, Boss Cut Gazelle, Click and Cut cutters, Passels, Silhouette Machine, Click and Cut, and others. So another place that I find SVG files that are free is to go to the Silhouette Studio online store, go to File, Purchase Online, and they have a free shape of the week. If you click on that free shape of the week, this comes out every Tuesday. You can click on download and put in your password. Getting an account at Silhouette's online store is free. Then when you submit your order, you get the file in your images. So I can go to my library and see all my recent downloads, and all of these show up in alphabetical order. Now if I click on the icon over here, I can see my screen and I can see my library, and I'm looking for GEM, G-E-M, to find that free file. There it is, gem card. I'll double click there, and since I'm using version 1.9 or 2.0, I can go to File, Save As, and we'll call this gemcard.svg, and I've got my free file. And you can do that each and every week. They have a new free file there. Now that gem card I can bring into Make the Cut by going up to SVG, Looking on my desktop for gem card SVG, open, and there it is. It's already got all the score lines there. Now I can edit it and make the cut. I like to select all the score lines and move them to their own layer by clicking on the small green plus icon at the lower right corner, and then I can send each of these other layers to their own layers, to each its own. Now you see all the pieces are over here ready for me to color into any color that I want and ready to go. I can also select all, and I like to do this because Make the Cut resizes everything to the size it was originally in the original software, and I don't know of any other software that will do this. So I save it again as gemcard.svg because now if I load this into other software, it's going to retain its size, which is very nice. The only one that doesn't still retain the size is the Cricut Design Place. I still have to resize in that software. But that's another option. Another place where I find free SVGs every week is, most every week, SVG Cuts has free designs. You can go to free designs at their site, and there are hundreds, 35 pages with 9 designs per page, so if you have over 300 designs to choose from. This week's free file is right here, so I click on it. I click on download now, and it comes as a zip file. So when I click that, I select extract all, and it extracts these. I'll take it to my desktop and click on extract, and now I can go into Make the Cut, click on SVG, and look for that folder that I just extracted. Let's see where it went. It's a good idea to figure that out. Save link as, and I'll put it on my desktop. There it is. Now I'll extract, and it starts with the name SVG Cuts, so that's how I know where to find it. So we'll come back in here and see if I can find it now on my desktop. There it is. Double click on the name, the folder. Now with these, since there are multiple folders, I will open these folders. I can hold the Shift key and click on each one of these, and I can bring them both in at the same time. Then I can bring in another by going to the other folder, flower, double click, hold Shift, get both of those in. Then I can do it one more time and go to the label folder, hold a Shift, and click all three to open all at once. Now I can leave them like this. So you notice they all come in on their own layers, which is nice. I have some empty layers here that I'll get rid of by clicking the trash can. And I can send the similar colors to a single layer by holding the Shift and clicking on the icon in the Layers panel on the right, and click on the smaller of the 2 plus icons in the corner to send them both to a single layer. And I can do the same with the dark pink, hold a Shift, send them to their own layer, and now I have my colors grouped by layers so that when I'm ready to cut, I can use this eye to hide all and just show the ones that I want to cut. I can move them around where I like. and I can go ahead and cut those, and then when I'm done with that I can hide this layer and I can open the next and I can cut those. I can show them all. One thing I like to do is how to put these where they're going to be. Just stack them on top of another. And you can move them up a layer if they're hiding. This one's hiding behind the light pink, so I'll move this light pink up above the green. You can move them by using the little arrow keys. If I can stack these by hand, or I can stack them automatically. Notice that this has a bigger selection arrow box around it. This is a medium and this has a small, and I think that's how they show you the stacking order. To get rid of that big selection box, I just click on break. I'll select the green and click on break. Now when I select them, I type S and they stack perfectly. Have to use the break because they put some kind of little mark in there to help you with sizing if you're not using Make the Cut. So that's, I can save this as a Make the Cut file. I can just call this Simple Elements, and that would be a Make the Cut file. But if I want to save it as an SVG, I can select it all, go to File, Export, Selection to SVG, and they're all on one file this time instead of in several different ones, and we'll call this Simple Elements.svg, and now I've got that file ready to use, whether it's in Make the Cut or in Sure Cuts a Lot or in Cricut Design Space. These SVG files can go into Passel software, so we have a lot of options here. Another place that I like to go every Friday where they have free files is to Passel's Craft Room. If you go to Library and then go to Even as a free user of their software, you can go to their image library and find their free topic, free cutting files. Right now all of these designs are free for everybody. Just get a free account and you can access these. And every Friday afternoon they add a new one. So maybe I'd like to do this kitty cat. I can save it as SVG by clicking on the SVG icon. I think I want to right click and save link as, so I can put it right on my desktop. Otherwise it goes to my downloads folder. You can put it where you want. So I go to Make the Cut. I'm going to open a new file, click on SVG, go to my desktop, and let's see, there's the kitty cat. So I open it up. I can resize it as I like. Now I see that there are several colors here that I might like to send to layers. I'm going to hold the Shift key and click on the gray items. Click on the smaller, the 2+ icons to send the whiskers to one layer. I think I'll do the gold ones to their own layer. Each time I make a layer, I hide it so then I see what else I have left to do. Let's see, there's some black. I'll put those on their own layer. Hide that one. Now there's a pink, goes to its own layer. I'll hide that. And some white. Send that to its own layer. And all the rest should pretty much be the yellow. So Now I have this design ready to cut. I'll show all. And one thing I didn't do, which I usually do, when I select a layer, I usually join them. This way when they go into other software, when I click over here on the white box for the layer, it selects them automatically, and now I can just join them so they're all one piece. And then when it goes into other software, it will be usable. I'll change that back to yellow, gold, I guess. So joining the designs is helpful sometimes in other software, joining the pieces that are the same. This is helpful in the Passel software for sure. So all I do, if I am ready to, I can save this. I can save as KittyCat and make the cut as an MTC file, and I can export it to use in other software. So I can go to File, Export, Selection to SVG. It was a SVG already, but now it's grouped according to how I like it to be grouped. KittyCat.svg and save. Now if you have a Passel's membership, you can access all of their 4,000 images, all sorted by topic. You would log in, and they have projects almost every day added in here that are very nice, and so you can go to their library and you can use any of their files. All 4,000 or 5,000 of these designs are available in SVG or WPC format, so you can just pick the ones that you want. A membership is well worth it for $19.99 a month. For 2 years you get a membership, plus you can buy for $99 a Passel's cutting machine to go with it, so that's a good deal too. Another place I like to get free files is Miss Kate's Cuttables. She has a free file every day, which includes SVG files. And so to get that, you go to Miss Kate's Cuttables and you click on Freebie of the Day. Every day she has a new free file. Then you click on the image, add to your cart, check out. If you are logged in and stay logged in, then you just click next, 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 place order. Right click on the file name, save link as, and then we can save this where we want. I'll save it to my desktop, and it's also a zipped file. So once it's downloaded, I double click and select it and extract all files, and we'll tell it to go to the desktop. So then I go to make the cut, open a new page and click on SVG, and I'm looking for Miss Kate's Cuttables Cute Beach Set folder. So I double click and open the SVG folder, Cute Beach Set, and there come all my designs that make up that one file. I can right click on that layer and send to each its own, and then they'll all go to their own layers. And again, I can group these according to color. It looks like we have a few that are the same color here, or I can group them over here, just holding the shift and sending them to their own layer. Get rid of the empties, hold a shift, send them to their own layer, get rid of the empties, shift to their own layer, get rid of the empties. Now you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but again, I like to group these together, those that are the same color, so that when I cut them, I can just select the layer that they're on and cut that color, or even organize them on my screen according to color and put several different colors of paper on my mat and cut them all at once. And whatever suits your needs, that's a good way to do it. You could stack these up, but then when you're ready to use them, you'd probably unstack them anyway. But what I do like to do is take a picture of this design while it's here and add it to my file. So to do that, I take the Windows snipping tool, drag it around that design, and then come to make the cut and click on the pixel trace icon, which looks like 4 little squares here. Click on paste. Take the threshold up to the highest, 255, and texturize blackout, apply changes, and import finishing. Now I've got a picture of the way this should look when it's all assembled, and that's very helpful for me when they come in as pieces. So I'm going to save this as we'll call this Cute Beach Set, and I'll just put it in the same folder, Cute Beach Set. And if I want to export this as an SVG, I go to File, Export, Selection to SVG, and this will include all of my groups if I group them. Also include the picture and colors, so Cute Beach Set. So even though she gave us the SVG, I've got it here. She also includes the picture in the file, which is nice. So now we have lots of options, lots of ways to work with SVG files, lots of free sources of excellent cutting files, and there are tons more. This just barely scratches the surface of what you can get. So have fun with your SVG files.